Greetings, citizens from rolling hills of the bluegrass. Okay, I don't know what's going on right now. For the last couple of weeks, I've been seeing more and more online personalities who were 100%, before the election, who were 100% aboard on the liberty mind. They were all for it. And, as a liberty-minded person, libertarian, right, whatever the title is, whatever. You sit and you go, okay, do you people not want freedom? Do you not want this idea that is human liberty? Do you want to go back to feudalism? Do you want to go back to kings and queens? Do you want dictatorial governments lording over you and in every bit of your life? Do you want them in every aspect to be there? Are we so dysfunctional that the only way we can achieve any kind of semblance of normalcy because of the COVID pandemic and all of this other stuff is the only way that we can go back is to go back to it? Do you hear the frustration in my voice? Do you understand my just... I don't get it. It's precise. If you go back to Richard Dreyfuss, on his appearance with Bill Maher, God, this was like 10 years ago, and he talks about how, the individual has not been taught what it is to be a good citizen. And by good, I don't mean obedient. I mean someone who partakes in a society. And he gave a warning in that talk because he was like, if we don't know what to do, we are going to run to the first person we think who knows what to do and ask them what to do. And that's precisely what it feels like we're in right now. You have all of these people who have been espousing liberty, individualism, and now all of a sudden that little bit of gravel in the shoe, a little bit of backstep has occurred. Now all of a sudden they just want to throw it to the wind. They just want it to be gone and bring back in all of the systems that we've already tried, that we've lived under for thousands of years. That little bitty sand is irritating them enough that they're willing to throw everything down and run right back to it. I'm not going to call you all cowards. But by saying I'm not going to call you all cowards, I kind of have, haven't I? Do you want these governments to return? These things that we read in our history books, do you want them to come back? Do you want some religious hierarchy that pokes and prods into your daily life? Because right now, what we've got on the left is a bunch of people running around turning everyone into Hester Prynne. And they're being allowed to do it, and there's no pushback. So what you've got is now this weak-kneed response from the people on the right who is like, well, I guess we kind of need to do that too. No! Absolutely not. You do not kneel or yield to tyrants, and you do not become a tyrant yourself. This is not chickens gathering whenever the sun passes through some clouds and they freak out because the shadows have changed and they all group together. You're a human. You're an individual. And this pushback against individualism, You start with the individual. There are no groups without individuals. It's an imaginary concept, the group, that we used to organize ourselves. And we have found that the problem with groups is that they have a tendency to put people's arms up behind their back and twist them and make them do things they don't want to do. So the way you counter that is with the individual. And you say, what is your life? Well, I want to do this with my life. Okay. Are you capable, competent, and able to do it? Well, I think I am. Okay, go do it. Fail and succeed. Fail or succeed at your own speed. Go, do, be you. But nothing in that says, oh, and while in the process of you being you, totally ignore everyone else. Be as selfish as you can be. Amass everything unto you that you can. Take everything that comes your way and share nothing with anybody else. Where did that come from? Where has this been? Is this the application of avarice that we just have somehow missed? No, because again, you must be moral. The people that you interact with, the business that you do, must be, and yes, this is a must be. These are moral applications to this, and I'm sorry for those of you who don't like that. But I'm not really sorry. I'm just being polite. It's my nature to try to be polite while being very, very angry and trying not to absolutely blow my top. But it's you. You have to be moral. You can't steal from people and expect not to be punished. You can't take advantage of other people because you are not living a liberty-minded life. Because inside of liberty, you also have to realize that other people have liberty too. And it's whenever you fail to recognize their liberty that you then come in conflict with those people, those persons. And why that is getting lost in the mix is, are we libertarians / liberty-minded people, are we failing to articulate that side of it? Are we failing to explain the idea of voluntarism, where you equitably work with someone else for both of your benefits? Are we failing to say that at the outset, at the forefront? Because if it is, then here, let's say it now. You can be a part of a group if you want, but as long as you've chose to be it. It's not been coerced. You've not been forced. You've not been put in a headlock and given a noogie and said, oh, here you go. Now you're a part of it. You have to be. You've made a choice. And it could be a bad choice. And that's also part of the problem, is that we have socialized our mistakes. We've personalized our successes, but we've socialized our mistakes. And this is kind of the problem with corporations, is that they somehow manage. 2008, everyone remember the recession? Those were bad choices made by massive corporations who had their hands in everyone's pockets. And it was facilitated by who? The central government in Washington, D.C. They made stupid choices and people lost everything. In some regards. And that is the problem. And who went to jail? A handful of people? Just a few, just enough to placate the masses and make them look like something actually was being done. And then that's when the Tea Party comes in and it's like, now hold on a second. We pay our taxes. We do the things that we're supposed to do. And if we fail, we carry all of the burden. But if these companies, these corporations on Wall Street, if they fail, we have to bail them out. We're the ones that then have to shoulder the burden of their bad mistakes. And then the Tea Party gets co-opted by that moron Sean Hannity, Express and, Train for America, whatever that thing was. And they failed because they got co-opted by the Republicans, because for the most part, most of those people would have been Republican voters. So they got co-opted. At the same time, you have Occupy Wall Street occurring, which is the left version of Tea Party. And it is. They are in the same groove of going, look, these people are exploiting the powers that be, and we're on the hook for it. But then the same people who are in Occupy now, same set of people, are now attempting to create their own groove with this wokeism and all of the postmodern and all of those nice buzzwords that you get to hear by other speakers. They're in the same vein, and now they're trying to create their own groove, but they're trying to make everyone else do it. So we're right back to where we were 2,000 years ago. A handful of people trying to grab power and make you do what they want to do. And now all of a sudden, the people on the right, whatever you want to qualify that as, all of a sudden the people on the right who are supposed to be defenders of liberty are saying, well, maybe we should just fortify, dig in, and go backwards. Maybe we should look to the group. Maybe we should look to alliances and coalitions. Well, I don't mind you getting people together at all. That's kind of what you probably should do. But are you doing it through force or through fear? Through force and fear, or are you doing it through liberty? Are you bringing people together voluntarily and asking them, do you want to stand up for freedom? Or do you want to go back? Do you want to go backwards? Now, I'm not going to say anything about progressivism because there is so much socialism wrapped up in progressivism that it then makes you sound like some kind of weird commie. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the perpetual progressivism. I'm talking about getting the idea that we are subjects to a centralized power out of the human psyche, and saying you can make a choice. And then if you want to go and do that, fine. But you leave me out of it. You get it in comments with people in some of these chat channels on the other website. It's like, well, why don't you just go live in the mountains? Okay, I will. I'll go live in the mountains. But you leave me alone while I'm in the mountains. Leave me alone. You go do your thing, and I'm going to go up there, and I'll grow my garden, and hopefully, be able to sell enough to buy a solar panel and have some electricity. But that's the thing. And this is where those of you who are, pushing the traditionalism button and, going back to the cultural reset, you're worried about Davos and the World Economic Forum and their great reset. Well, you all want to do a reset just the same. But the problem is that the left won't leave you in the mountains. They won't leave you alone. They will not leave you be. And this is again why some of the people in the liberty liberty-minded side, the libertarian side, and even over here with us crazy right libertarians. They're trying to make deals with socialists, and this is my thing that I did with Mr. Bundy. They don't play nice, the people you're trying to ally yourself with. They do not lose. Just because we both see that the system is screwing everybody doesn't mean that what we would replace in the system is going to be the exact same thing. And just because we have an ally for the moment does not mean we are allied for the future. And I don't understand where this groupthink is coming from. Are we this lost? Is the question. Are we just this absolutely just fragmented to the point that we have no sense of self? And we're just clamoring to find some little nugget that we can put our fingers into and hold on for dear life. It's been welling up for the last week in me, this video right here, because it's like, hold on, wait. Where is this coming from? This panic, this absolute, we've seen them lurch forward, those on the left, since they've gotten in power. And this is a very US-centric kind of a thing that's going on right now. We've seen them lurch into power for whatever reason you want to believe. I'm dealing with the fact that they are in power now. How they got there, whatever. And people are freaking out. They're losing their minds. Absolutely losing it. And it's just, this is the stampede. This is the mental stampede. It's a wave. It'll crash at some point. And the thought leaders, the commentary and the bobbleheads and everything on the other website, and even this video right now, we're not doing anything about it. Right? We're not shoring up the dam. We're just watching the cracks expand across it and waiting for it to explode. And what's crazy is that then you have these people, I believe in liberty. And they walk in and they go, I believe in liberty. Here's a theocracy. I believe in liberty. Here's a right-wing dictatorship. I believe in liberty. Here's a left-wing dictatorship. And it's going, why, you all are insane. You've lost yourself in the miasma of despair. You're looking for tools that'll work. And the tools you're grasping at are the ones that are on the museum wall instead of the ones that are in your hand. You. In your head. You. And the thing is you will take us all down with you. That's the problem. That's why you're supposed to be liberty-minded. Is that if one person freaks out, you can help them afterwards. But if they freak out and take you with them, then what's the point? It's like we're in suicide vest mode and everyone's going to blow up and take everything with them. You're lost. Anakin, you are lost. God help us.